SpaceX is finally entering the public markets, and investors around the world are watching closely. In this video, we examine the listing, the psychology surrounding major IPOs, the impact of the 366-day lockup period, and possible market scenarios that could unfold after trading starts. Rather than focusing solely on the opening day excitement, we explore what history teaches us about investor behavior, valuations, institutional participation, and the challenges that many highly anticipated IPOs face once the initial enthusiasm begins to fade. Whether you're bullish or bearish or simply curious, this video provides a balanced look at one of the most anticipated market events of the decade. What do you think happens after day one? Leave a comment below. I read all the comments. Let's dive in. Tomorrow, one of the most anticipated companies in modern history begins trading publicly. SpaceX, a company that has transformed the space industry, launching rockets on a regular basis and dominating the satellite internet and becoming the most valuable private company on the earth. The question isn't, are people excited? The question is, what happens after the excitement? Unlike many IPOs, SpaceX enters with a business people already know and admire. History shows us that excitement often peaks before reality sets in. This means expectations can become larger than the business itself. Let's take a look at Elon's business. He has 7 business models. 1, he has PayPal, which is a global payment settlement utility. 2, he has Tesla, the electric vehicle company. And 3, he has XAI, the AI chatbot and general purpose technology. 4, he has SpaceX with reusable rockets. 5, he has robotics and autonomous tech, which is emerging. 6, he has government and defense contracts. And 7, he has Starlink, the internet communications provider. SpaceX goes live on the NASDAQ June 12, 2026, and the anticipated share price is $135 USD. The valuation of these combined enterprises is a whopping 1.7 trillion. That's right, 1.7 trillion. This also comes with a 366-day lockup period. Is the SpaceX IPO a good investment? Overall, investors are likely better off waiting to invest in the SpaceX IPO. Why? A great company can be a terrible stock. Why is this? A revolutionary company can be a poor investment if the public pays too much for it. What are some examples? Well, looking back, Facebook, its IPO fell 50%. Then it became a great investment. Number 2, Uber. They struggled on their IPO and they spent years below expectations. Number 3, we had Robinhood. That collapsed after enormous hype. Rivian. It lost most of its value after an explosive debut. And number 5 is Coinbase. They entered at a crypto cycle peak and fell dramatically. In each of the cases, investors weren't buying a bad business story. They were buying at a future price that assumed years of future success had already occurred. Why IPOs often disappoint? Well, there's several reasons. Number one, the best growth happens before you can buy. By the time retailers get access, major growth already occurred. Valuations is often extremely overpriced, and expectations are usually sky high. The public is often buying the last stage of the story rather than the first. Number two, hype creates unrealistic expectations. The hotter the IPO, the more dangerous. This happened repeatedly during the dot-com era and again in 2020 and 2021. Number three, the lockup periods and expirations. Insiders cannot sell until the lockup period ends. So when lockup ends, more shares hit the market. Early investors take profit and leave, and supply increases and value decreases. My assessment of the SPX IPO, did it occur during euphoric markets? I'd say yes. Their markets are all at their tippity tops right now. Did this occur during an AI mania? Yes, right now we have tremendous buying in AI and data centers. And are stocks at record valuations? Absolutely, they're at all-time highs right now. And lastly, is there extreme public excitement for this anticipated IPO? My assessment is yes. So any corrections could be 5% and could be as high as 60%, would not surprise me. I'm not concluding that will occur. The more important question would be, what percentage of future success is already reflected in the IPO price? And if history is any guide, the biggest risk is not rockets, satellites, AI, robotics. It's investors paying too much for a story they already believe is inevitable. With that, we'll just take a quick look at the chart where we are talking about the dot-com bubble here, and then later on where we had another very major problem in the market here. So I populated this with a couple of white lines that are, well, they're all equal to our first dot-com bubble sell-off. So just because I have this extended line up to our topping yellow line here from our dot-com bubble doesn't necessarily mean we will leap up into this. However, we are at elevated prices within the orange band of these lines, and from history we've seen very likely that prices are most comfortable off of this orange line here, and from time to time they have bottomed and touched this red line here as an extreme bottom low. Not that I'm saying this will happen, however, the market is in a very euphoric position, and it seems very likely we could see an anticipated spike with another sell-off and a rollover. Looking at our MACD trend line here, we can see that we're above the elevated dot-com level here, and of course that euphoric area happened again when we reached into a period where we saw another major sell-off in the 2020-21 era here. So just watching this, we know that this MACD indicator is flirting with high valuations here, and it just seems that history has shown us that when we get into these territories that it's not too long before we have a major reset or correction. Alright guys, peace and love. Just be careful out there with your trading, and just watch what history has produced in the IPO market, and take that with a grain of salt. Just remember, you can always buy back a stock after it's had a euphoric move back down and valuations come back down to the ground, and the hype is left. So with that, that's our update for SpaceX. I'm wishing Elon Musk the best with his venture. He's obviously a very intelligent and smart man, and I respect him and his business decisions. So peace and love, brothers and sisters.